Okay, this is a video on body locks. And so what I'm trying to talk about initially is our head position. So the two main positions would be head to the outside and then head to the inside. Head to the inside is when your head is inside the arms, say between the shoulders and the front, so towards the center line, like your head inside position. Head on the outside is when you're outside of the elbows. So you're basically behind their back or on the side of their body, but you're outside of the arms, outside of the elbows. So behind the elbows, head outside. It's like double leg, head inside, like you're doing single leg. And you can do body locks and clinch work from either the head inside or the head outside position. So notice how when I have either of these positions, I'm always gonna have, when possible, a long arm and a short arm. So here's my head to the inside, and the long arm is always going to be the opposite arm. So if my head is to the inside, then my arm that goes around the back is going to be the long arm. If my head is to the outside here in the back, then it's going to be, in this case, you can see I'm using my right arm demonstrating that. That's going to be my long arm, palm down generally, and locking the body between that long arm and my head. So sometimes here I'm demonstrating you can get a grip with only one arm. Even if you don't have a lock, you can get reasonable pressure. A lot of times you'll catch the hip with just one hand before you can secure your lock. There's these little moments that where you catch the hip or you catch a leg or you catch a body part. And so here I'm talking about you wouldn't want to have a long arm on the same side as your head. This would be if I put my long arm here on the same side of my head and tried to lock this way, I'm actually creating back exposure for myself, right? And Ty can just turn and start to see my back and expose my back for his attacks and counter me very easily. So it's really important that we don't put our long arm on the same side. As I said earlier, we're going to make sure we always have our long arm opposite side. So here I'm putting that long arm palm down and then making sure that either I'm grabbing the hip. Notice how as I clamp that hip, I'm bringing my elbow down. So that's a very important detail, right? Because sometimes you just, you want to be able to start breaking their posture, and if you have a sideways position, you might want to break their posture and drive them over the body. So here I'm demonstrating the short arm can be palm up on the grip. The short arm here from the head inside position could attack a single leg. You could do a far knee tap. You could penetrate across and go to the double leg. And now look, as I move around, I switch from head inside. As I slid across, now I'm head outside. And so a large portion, really the main thing about this video is demonstrating and talking about how if I circle through the positions, I'm actually going to move through them, right? Here my head starts inside, my head comes outside, and then look, my head is now outside, and if I continue to circle around, my head comes inside again. This is really important because I'm going to alternate different attacks based on what's available. And if you've never done this drill and you don't know that, you don't know exactly what attack is available, depending on which way your opponent turns or which way you like to circle. You might circle forward, you might circle backward, your opponent might twist to the left, they might twist to the right. And so you want to be able to transition, whether I'm going forward here, notice how, look at I'm doing this drill, moving my feet around, keeping that head position inside, clamping that hip, driving the body, getting a nice tight waist with that, even the single arm here. Because when you're drilling, it's really nice when you can feel the good control with one arm. Because of course, once we lock, the control is going to be, should be super tight if you do everything right. Moving forward, so notice right now I'm still walking forward, so I'm going head inside, there's a single leg, I can do the knee tap, body lock, pull to the single leg. A lot of times you get in that clinch, you grab a single leg, you pull in, you go to the body lock. You know, the single leg having a hard time, so all these techniques should be combined together, right? You might start with a single head inside. Now look, now I'm walking backwards, and then I get head outside. So I can go forward or backwards, head inside to head outside or head outside to head inside. I can alternate position for any of those attacks, so I can get to any attack in any direction. So I can go any body lock, any double, single. Here I'm just demonstrating a lift. So basically showing the guys that any direction that I turn in, whether I'm double, whether I'm coming around to the rear clinch, coming back around to the inside position, circling back around, there's my single, go to the tight waist, keep circling around. Now I'm head outside, clamping the hip. I can do a takedown there from the back. There's a lot of different takedowns here once you have these locks. It's a really nice drill that I've been using, and it's really helped me flow from one attack to the other. Notice how I switch the leg, I capture the hip. I'm just sort of moving from position. We have single leg, far, knee tap, double leg, rear clinch, come back around, and we can single leg, body lock, far knee tap, right? Double leg. And I'm just moving around here. You can watch how my head is penetrating through, whether I'm going forward or backwards, right? I can circle back to a double, circle back to a single, circle back to a body lock, double. These are just really good drills. You get a great workout just circling here and moving your partner. That's it. If you have questions, comment below. If you know a better way to do it, tell me what's up.